Hey everyone, this is Bill Krieger from the Veterans Archives podcast, where we preserve and share the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Really, anywhere you choose to get your podcast, you should be able to find us. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on social media to help us reach more veterans and supporters. We are a nonprofit, and this service is completely free for veterans. Every story matters, and every voice deserves to be heard. Spread the word, honor our heroes, and join us on this mission. Follow, share, and tune in, because their story should never be forgotten. Learn more at veteransarchives.org. We'll see you there. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, November 26th, 2025. We're talking with Chuck Fowlkes, who served the United States Army. So good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Great.
It's always good to see you.
Great to see you as well. It's been a minute, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll just get started right out with questioning here. When and where were you born?
I was born in Detroit, 1965 at Harper Hospital.
Awesome. What month? I'm just curious.
September.
Okay. I was born in April of 65.
I'm a fall baby.
Okay. All right. I'm a spring baby.
Okay.
I think we had tornadoes when I was born. That's what I was told anyway. So great. So did you grow up in Detroit then?
Born and raised in Detroit. A lot of history growing up in the city of Detroit. As a kid, I remember going on the Boblo boat, Edgewater Park, spending numerous family outings at Belle Isle Park. So I was born and raised in Detroit.
Okay. And brothers and sisters?
I have one brother and one sister.
Okay.
And I am the oldest.
Oh, you are. So you're in charge.
Charles in charge. I'm Charles in charge. Kind of, sort of.
Okay. Well, my older sister thinks she's in charge all the time. So
okay, gotcha.
I think it might be a trend. I don't know. And how far apart are you in age with your siblings?
Actually, my brother, ironically, he just turned 52. My sister is 48.
Okay. All right. And you just turned 60.
I just turned the big 6-0. I just joined the 60 club. I consider myself OG, or older gentleman.
Not the original gangster.
Not the original gangster, no.
The older gentleman.
Older gentleman.
We need to put together a line of T-shirts for that.
Yes, yes.
I think.
And just for the record, you don't become an older gentleman, OG, until the age of 50.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you might be able to get your AARP card before then, but you're not going to be an older gentleman before
That's correct.
Awesome.
That is correct.
So talk to me a little bit about growing up in Detroit and what are some of your earliest memories?
Well, Bill, growing up in Detroit was just fantastic. I can honestly say I had a phenomenal childhood. I was raised by my grandparents, ironically. My mom and dad were still a great part of my life, but I was raised by my grandparents. With that being said, our house was the Kool-Aid house because our house was the house that everybody migrated to visit my grandmother and grandfather, and we had numerous family dinners and things of that nature. I remember as a child having an extended family of uncles, aunts, cousins. It was just remarkable. Recalling the time spent at Belle Isle, which I just heard rumors that they're trying to revive that experience. I don't know, not the island itself, but the boat. I just heard rumors. I'm not sure how true that is. Edgewater Park, 7 Mile Evergreen area, going to Belle Isle Park for family outings and different sporting outings, things of that nature. Then just playing with the neighborhood kids. Of course, remember playing all three sports. In the summertime, we could play all three sports in one day: baseball, basketball, football. All in one day. And another activity that we established in our neighborhood, well, a couple activities. One was in the summertime, we played what we call Olympic, where we lined our bikes up and we utilized them as hurdles. We ran races and we jumped over each bike as a hurdle. That was our Olympic. Then me and the boys in the neighborhood, we got so good we called it on our bikes catwalk. Catwalking is the art of being able to ride a bike on one wheel.
Oh yeah.
So we got pretty good at it where we can actually strategically start at the beginning of the block and go for a full block on one wheel. It was just of course that was with numerous practice. We started out, a quarter of a mile, quarter of the block, half the block, then the full block. So things like that that we engaged in as a kid and growing up in our neighborhood. Of course, we wasn't angels by any stretch of imagination, but we wasn't bad kids.
Right.
So sports was our way of, as I can say, keeping us out of any mischief.
Uh-huh.
Because by the time we got finished with sports, we were too tired to.
I was going to say you probably slept pretty well at night.
I slept well, particularly during the school year, because after you got out of school, you rushed to do your homework, got out of your school clothes, then you went outside and played for a little bit. Then you came in for dinner, got bathed, bedded down, started the whole day over again. So childhood was just great, and then kind of wrapping up the childhood memories. As I recall, I did a little everything. It's just the nature of me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being a Cub Scout. I remember being a Boy Scout. Of course, playing sports. I remember my dad. Of course, after my mom and dad divorced, my dad dating this young lady whose mother was a square dance teacher. So I took square dancing. Imagine a young African-American kid in the 70s square dancing. It was just, wasn't I could say it wasn't the norm.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around that.
So I square dance, done junior achievement. I can't remember anything that I didn't try.
Uh-huh.
Then one significant point in the childhood. I was born in 1965, so during that whole 60s civil rights era, and I remember my family moving from the east side of Detroit to the west side, which my whole childhood and adult life was on the west side. But I remember our family purchasing our first home on the west side of Detroit, 1971. We were the first African American family on our block in our neighborhood. Again, very fond memories because I remember there was a family that lived down the street. They had a swimming pool, mm-hmm. and they invited me down in the summers. They invited me down there every day. I remember going down there having meals. One particular day, I remember they had spaghetti. We swam, ate spaghetti. Just another memory of my childhood. So basically, that's the.
Okay. Yeah. Now, did you carry sports on through junior high and high school? Did you play like organized sports in school?
No, I played. Me and my cousin, who grew up, my first cousin. We grew up more like brothers than cousins. We were first cousins.
Mm-hmm.
We played on the YMCA team, but ironically, of course, the neighborhood guys, they were here. They probably would challenge me on it. Doing elementary, middle school, I was the best in the playing. All the sports.
Yeah,
but I the competition caught up with. I should say. By the time high school, of course, my height, kind of slowed down. I was a relatively short guy, skinny in build. So after middle school, I didn't pursue any high school or any sports beyond that. I got involved in other activities as, like I say, junior achievement, co-op. A lot of, for whatever reason, at that age, a lot of business activities interest. So I pursued those over sport.
Oh, okay. All right. Any favorite subjects in high school?
Actually, my favorite subject throughout school and high school has been math. Always been pretty good at math. English not so good, but I in the 9th grade I had an English teacher named Mr. Gates who turned my whole perspective towards English around. And then I got more interested in the dynamics of writing and stuff like that. But throughout school and high school, college, the whole nine, math is always.
Okay. So you get through high school, and what happens after high school?
After high school, I went to community college here locally. I graduated from Redford High School in 1983. And as I stated in the beginning of the interview, I'm an old gentleman. So I graduated in 1983. Ironically, Redford High School closed in 2007, right there at the corner of Grand River and 6 Mile. It is now Myers, a Myers store. So I jokingly say the auditorium is now the produce section at Myers.
Oh, no. That's always sad when an old school goes away.
Yes. And it's kind of typical for a lot of popular schools in Detroit, because Redford closed, Cooley closed, and a couple well-known schools closed. There's a couple of those core schools that are still open, that they're in the process of rehabilitating, closing the old schools. Rebuilding.
Oh, yeah.
I should say. But I attended Redford High. So after high school, went to Henry Ford Community College for a couple of years. And then I attended Oakland Community College. And be quite frank, after I got out of high school, I think I maintained it was hard-pressed C average at best. I just wasn't serious.
Yeah.
Then after a couple of years of Henry Ford Community, Oakland Community, started dating who is now my wife. Then I stopped going to school. Married, had a family, then didn't go back to school later on, which became one of my goals in life, achieve a college degree. So I went back later on after my kids were a little older, family dynamics was a little more settled. Went back and got my.
Yeah. How long have you been married?
Ironically, coming up, this is end of November, come up on these. I've been married for 36.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's pretty incredible.
So I say my running joke is I've been married practically my whole adult life. I got married at 23 years of age, had my first child at 25, had my second child at 28. So got married and started my family pretty early, which was an asset, because now my kids are grown, and I'm still relatively young. I can pursue a lot of things right now in life that I enjoy, and still share those kids.
Yeah. I highly recommend having kids early, not too early,
right?
But early enough so that you aren't, you're not going to high school graduation when you're 75. That would be tough, I think.
Absolutely.
I mean, my kids wore me out when I was in my 30s and 40s. I can't imagine trying to do that at an older age, but people do it. God bless them.
God bless them. People do it, but yes. So
absolutely. So you have 2 children then.
Correct.
Married 36 years. So you met your wife, decided, hey, college isn't for me right now, and start your family. Did you start working right away, or did you go in the military? What happened kind of in that mix?
Actually, you know what, Bill? I'm now an educator after retiring from Consumers Energy and retiring from the military. So kind of like on my 3rd career.
Yeah.
In the twilight, as I say, kind of in the later years, twilight, if you will, of my life. And I share with my students often this point in my life. It's just more rewarding because my focus has turned off of myself into how do I become more of a positive impact and helping. So, and that's a combination of where I'm at in life and from my personal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's great to pass down to students too. I think your life does go in phases like that, right?
Correct.
You're in that kind of me where you're trying to raise your family, you're trying to work, you're trying to do all this other stuff to focus on others as you get older. So let's so going back a little bit, after you got married or you met your wife, did you start working right away then?
Right. So basically, again, what I share with people at this point in my life, everybody, to me, everybody has that. Most people, some people, for whatever reason, never get it. That motivation. So to answer your question, me and my wife met at NBD Bank, National Bank of Detroit, which is now Chase Bank. Worked there for about 6 years. I was making decent money. Just got married with a couple kids. But it motivated me because I had a family. I had stopped going to school. So basically my motivation now was I got to get a job to make more money because of family.
Right.
So ironically at that particular time, started working at Consumers. Started out entry level, meter reading. Worked my way up, eventually worked my way up and start gradually making real good money. So started Consumers Energy early after a couple years after I got married and when my kids were formative years. So basically I raised my family working.
Okay. All right.
And another added point to that is what I share with people, particularly my students. I started at Consumers Energy at 26 years old. A lot of people, or I should say a good percentage of people, if you really haven't found yourself or found that niche by mid-20s to early 30s, I mean, the world is not ending, but most people get that, find that career path, start going down the road that they're going down. Of course, you switch gears, but by your mid-20s, 30s, if you ain't on some type of path, something.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough. So I can honestly say I started at Consumers Energy at 26.
Okay. And then where did the military come in?
The military came in at the age of 20.
Okay.
I joined the military at the age of 20. And I often reflect back on that because at that time, I believe I joined the military because I always been over ambitious. And that was just like the next big challenge. So that's how I ended up joining the military. And looking and reflecting back and looking back on it, it was the best I ever.
Yeah. Yeah. So you joined the Army at the age of 20.
At the age of 20.
Okay. Where'd you take your basic training at?
Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Oh, boy.
In New Jersey.
Yeah. So what was that like? Tell me a little bit about what was it like when you got there?
It's funny. 20-year-old young kid joining the military. And I have similar experiences. Just if you interview a lot of people who join the military at an early age, have similar experiences. I remember my drill sergeant, Wayne Edward Wiggins. He said it over and over in basic training. And I think it was just his motivational tactic.
Yeah.
He probably did this cycle after cycle while he was a drill sergeant. For whatever reason, I was that guy, that trainee that he decided to pick up. So I'm here, 20-year-old kid from the city of Detroit in New Jersey, scared out of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Really the first time being away from home, outside of being with my grandparents or my parents or what have you. He got right in my face. You know, of course, with the big drill sergeant hat.
Yeah.
Brim. I don't know about you. I just know something about you I don't like. I don't know what it is. Heart went. I'm thinking, what did I do? I just showed up.
Right.
But again, that was his motivational tactic that he probably used every cycle.
Mm-hmm.
He picked on me probably for about a week. Then he realized that I wasn't going to succumb to the pressure. I was just going to do, hey, I'm away from home. What am I going to do other than do what I needed to do to survive?
Yeah.
So he realized that he had achieved his goal of intimidating me and me being able to as they say, man up.
Yeah.
So that experience I carried from life, and then just the overall experience of the what the military represents, the discipline, the camaraderie, the lifelong friends that you meet, the connections, and of course now being an older generation, benefits are kicked in.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So you can't beat that.
No, not at all. So did you go in on like a 4-year enlistment initially?
Initially, I signed up. I believe it was a 4-year enlistment, and you were obligated for 8 years. So you did 4 years, and I think you were obligated to 3 or 4 years after that, which they could, if you got out, they could call you up or whatever.
Yeah, the IRR, the Individual Ready Reserve. Yeah.
Right. But after that 4 years, ironically, I found myself re-enlisting. And next thing I know, I re-enlisted, and I'm looking up, coming up on my 20 years. Then I re-enlist. Next thing I know, I'm coming up on 30 years. So at that point, I made it a career. And what motivated me, because simultaneously, I maintained a career of consumers,
right, and
the military, as far as being in reserves. I remember after 15 years, was pretty busy with the family. Had started progressing at consumers. My responsibilities in and out were pretty taxing.
Yeah.
And I remember saying at the 15-year mark, I remember it's like, I'm ready out. But thank God I had the forethought to say, well, okay, 15 years, you're too close to 20. You might as well push it to 20. At least you can get a retirement out of this.
Yeah.
So then I got to 20. Once I got to 20, I believe I had achieved the rank of like E6, E7.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started looking at the checks. Wow, okay, so pretty good money. So that motivated me for a couple more years. And then at that time, that's when I made the decision to go back to school to get my bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
At that particular time, I mean, I was doing pretty good at consumer, so it wouldn't affect me one way or another. I mean, it would look good for me to apply for, different upper mobility positions with a bachelor's degree, but at that particular time, I was in management making good money anyway. So,
right.
But it was a personal goal of mine to get my degree. But it did set me up because I made the decision to commission as an officer. So my last rank as a enlisted was an E7. I decided to commission. I kind of mauled around becoming a warrant officer, but I decided on becoming an officer. So I ended up commissioning. That was a great experience. And I forget the term. You can help me with the term. Officer that was enlisted now as an officer has more respect because you don't seem. It's a term for it. I can't think of it right this.
Yeah, well, so in the Navy they're called Mustangs.
Mustang, yeah,
Yep,
Mustang, same thing.
Yeah,
same thing. You're a Mustang. So
it was very close to my career because I, after 14 years enlisted, I was at E6, and then I went to OCS and got my commission.
Correct.
And then I retired as a captain as well.
It's funny because I retired as a captain as well.
Yeah.
And so at that point now, I'm progressing at consumers. I'm an officer in the reserve, so I'm doing pretty good. But then I made the decision again. Of course, my kids were older, so my responsibility level from a kid and family standpoint was kind of tapering off a little bit. But I made the decision as I got close to my 30 years. Because the responsibilities from the reserve component as I grew in rank was becoming, as I was evaluating, like a full-time status.
Right.
So it's almost like having two full-time jobs because it wasn't like I was just a reservist. It was work that I had to do outside of that because of my responsibility level at that time. So at that time, I made the decision, when I get to the 30-year mark, I'm going to retire because there's other things that I want to pursue. If I stay in the military, I had just achieved the rank of a captain. At that time, I hadn't did my, what's the name time?
Wait.
My, why does it take me?
Oh, like your captain's career course?
No, I haven't done the captain's career course, but as a captain, you have to do your time, your company commander time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I hadn't done my company's commander time, so I decided to retire. I hit my 30-year mark, but if I had stayed in, I at that particular time, I would have did my commander's time.
Yeah.
And be honest with you, reflecting back on it, to alleviate the stress of juggling consumers and my military, I would have requested active duty time while I would do my commander time, so I would be away and I can focus in on that. Then after my commander time was up, then I would come back and then I would be promotable to major at that point. But it would alleviate commander's time, maintaining my, to me, it's doable. I see people do it all the time, but it would just been more than what I wanted.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
It's just a lot of work.
And it's a lot of work, a lot of commitment, and basically you really have to block out everything else, really do it effectively, and then not to stress yourself out.
Right, exactly. So you So I want to back up a little bit because we covered a lot of territory, but there's a lot of detail I'd like to get to.
Okay.
First, what was your MOS? What did you do as an enlisted person in the Army?
Okay. So basically, and it goes back to my MO as a person. Every couple of years, I look for that challenge.
Right.
And as we started on the military career, as I reflect back on it, that was the reason why I joined the military. As a 20-year-old kid, I was looking for that next challenge. So every couple of years, I look for that challenge. So initially, when I enlisted as an admin. And be honest with you, they call that got the exact name. Something special. Basically, I was typing.
Right. Taking care of records.
Type them up. That type of thing. So it was a great experience. So basically, I was assigned to the Leadership Academy, which was a drill sergeant school.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, our mission was to train reserve drill sergeants to become drill sergeants.
Mm-hmm.
They went through, I believe the program was like a year, maybe 2 years. Then they became drill sergeants. And then throughout the brigade companies, they went through, they deployed through the different companies So I worked as the admin specialist there as I continue my career.
So where was this at?
This was in Livonia.
Oh, okay.
Actually, my unit, they're still up and running right there, Livonia at Levan Road and Schoolcraft.
Okay.
If you traveling east, M14, you'll pass right by. 96 catching M14, you'll pass right by it.
Okay.
So it's Leadership Academy, which was a drill sergeant school. Then I transitioned into infantry training brigade, which our mission was to go to Fort Benning every year and take over for the Fort Benning infantry unit and train soldiers in different specialties like first aid, all types of, all the infantry subject areas.
Right.
First aid and the other subject, rifle marksmanship, things like that. Then, as I progressed, as I continued to grow, as an enlisted person, I became the pack sergeant, pack NCO sergeant, because I was in charge of the office person. Then, as I grew in commission, I became the S1, where I was in charge of the pack section, but from the officer side of it.
Okay.
Then, of course, in the pack section, personnel section, your primary mission is soldier readiness, maintain the soldier medical, personnel.
Okay. That was
my whole military career was from an admin point of view. I did do that brief, I would say probably about 7 years out of my 30 years as an infantry squad leader, where I was in charge of marksman.
Okay. So between being an NCO and getting your commission, though, you did go to college. Now, where did you get your degree from?
University of Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I was one of the first wave of online people to pursue their degree. Now it's like commonplace.
Yeah, it's just how you do it now.
It's how you do it, especially for a busy person.
Right.
But
right.
Back in the early 2000s, that was just a new phenomenon. And it worked out great for me for the simple fact that I was on afternoons at the time. Got up, dropped my kids off at school, came back, did all my schooling, then went to work. So it was a perfect fit.
It works out awesome. So did you do the OCS program, or did you do direct? How did that work? Your commission?
At that particular time, it wasn't OCS. They called it BOLC, Basic Officer Leadership Course.
Yeah.
So I went away for 3 months, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, which they had an admin of officer program.
Okay.
And I'd be perfect. It was the best experience. Is one of the best experiences of my military career. Best school by far that I took while I was in the military. It was just like being in college. I was there for 3 months. The barracks that they had us in, we had maids that cleaned up our, of course I'm a neat freak. So my maid, had it easy. All she had to do just come in, clean the towels and clean the bathroom. But we got up, of course, in the military operation, we got up, we did our PT.
Yeah.
Came back, showered up. We had breakfast. School was from like 9 to 5. After 5 o'clock was free. But during the week time, you would kind of review subject areas that you had covered. Weekends were free. I kind of buddied up with a couple of older guys. Usually go out to dinner, play golf or something like that. Went to attended school with a lot of West Pointers. That was a great, young kids. Of course, at that time I was like in my early 40s.
Yeah.
And to be able to interact with people, young soldiers that were West Pointer, that was a great experience.
Let's take a quick break.
Hey, listeners, we need your help to keep the Veterans Archives podcast going. We're a nonprofit dedicated to preserving the stories of our nation's heroes, and we provide this service completely free to veterans. Your support helps us record, share, and archive these incredible stories so future generations never forget the sacrifices made for our freedom. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. Visit veteransarchives.org to contribute today. Help us honor their service by ensuring their voices are heard. And thank you for your support, and thank you to all the veterans who have served our country. Well, and you have, as a prior enlisted with all those years of service, you have a little bit better understanding of how things really work instead of how they theoretically work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had real life experiences that at that point, because at that point I was in my early 40s.
So this would have been what, like 2005-ish time frame then?
That was in 2011.
Oh, okay. So we're okay.
We down the road.
Yeah. Now, so I served in the National Guard, so the program was a little bit different. But did you have to come in on a waiver then to get your commission?
Yes.
Like I think for me, I was 38 when I got commissioned, so I had a waiver, but I had to go through OCS. So I didn't know if I was actually going to get my commission until after I had graduated OCS, and then my waiver came through.
Actually, I had to go through. I had to fill out a waiver prior to going.
Yeah.
And prior to being awarded my commission, all of that was done prior to me going to the BOLC course. But I did have to get a waiver for one, and it was primarily, crossing over from enlisted to officer. But at that point, my age was
right. Absolutely. That's how the military sees it anyway. Yeah. So you get your commission, you come back. You've got what, 10 more years left in the military then? Because you're right at about 20 years.
thereabouts.
Okay. And you're still working at Consumers. So what are you doing at Consumers around this time?
About that time at Consumers, I was an operations supervisor
Uh-huh.
on the gas side of the business. So I had bounced around a little bit, which gave me a lot of experience in the operations and running different headquarters. So I started out, ironically, when I first joined the military, my unit was the Leadership Academy in Livonia,
Right.
and I worked in with consumers.
Uh-huh.
So I could literally walk from consumers headquarters to Army. So
That's pretty convenient.
yeah, that was. I mean, that was funny. So for years, I had that dynamic going. But at that particular time, I was an operations supervisor. And I had bounced around. Started out in Livonia. Went to. They had just opened up the Royal Oak Service Center. I mean, Royal Oak at that time was a customer service where they took bills and a lot of administrative stuff. So
right.
In 2007, they opened it back up to operations where we moved back in distribution service, a lot of the operation areas. So we moved over there, and then I bounced around from Royal Oak, Macomb, Groveland, couple of different headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So operations supervisor, and then I was at that particular time was season supervisor. So I was looking for kind of a positioning myself to become a senior manager.
Yeah, yeah. And so you, so if I'm doing my math right, about 40 years. So around 2015, you retired from the Army.
26.
Okay.
And you were 1 year off.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
2016. And actually, time flies by. March will be 10 years that I retired.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I retired in 2010. So yeah, time flies.
Time flies.
It really does.
It does.
So talk to me a little bit about retiring from the military specifically. Like, what was it like to put that uniform on you knew it was going to be the last time that you're going to wear that in an official capacity?
Actually, reflecting back on it, it was a great time because I enjoyed my whole military career. Of course, like I stated earlier, due to my responsibilities, I had decided, I had kind of mulled over getting out, but throughout my military career, so those last couple of years was focused on retiring, but at the same token, I was enjoying that.
Right.
So let me fast forward to that last year that I was in. It was just phenomenal, just reflecting back over your career. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Then I remember those last couple months putting that uniform on. Then that last day of them acknowledging me in formation. This is Captain Fowlkes' last day. He is officially retiring. So it was surreal. Your whole military career flashed before you. You start reflecting back on where you started, where you came, where you are, and how proud you were to wear that uniform. So it was awesome.
Yeah, kind of bittersweet, right?
It was kind of bittersweet, and then actually reflecting back on it, if I was stick it out, most of my peers right now are majors promotable to lieutenant colonels.
Yeah.
So if I had stayed in, I would be a major promotable lieutenant colonel.
Right. Still, that's a lot of years to have to put in to get there.
That's a lot of years, a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So you retire from the military, you continue your career on at Consumers Energy. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So basically, ironically, retiring from the military at 2016, there was only a couple more years before I left Consumers in 2018. So it was only like 2 years after that.
So you really, if I think about this right, you really only had 2 years at Consumers Energy where you weren't doing two different jobs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct. I mean, because actually, just like I stated, that was the reason why, I was really motivated, and I kind of wanted that milestone. I wanted that milestone of retiring after 30 years.
Yeah.
And then to be able to experience life of working at consumers and not have the military. So reflecting back on it, was only 2 years that happened, because I retired from the military 2016 of consumers at 2008. So
Okay.
it's only a 2-year time.
Yeah. And our paths had crossed a couple of times at the consumers during that period. So, what have you been doing since?
Since I have, and I do some speeches on it,
Mm-hmm.
I have really reinvented myself, rebranded myself. After leaving consumers and the military course, throughout both entities, I was in leadership positions.
Right.
So I developed and perfected, I wouldn't say perfected, but just developed leadership style. So afterwards, now fast forwarding, I became an educator,
Mm-hmm.
which working with young people, I have started my nonprofit, the Fowlkes organization, which our mission is to help people get into skilled trade. I've started my consulting, Fowlkes LLC,
Mm-hmm.
which I specialize in leadership development, mental resilience. So basically, reinvented myself, rebranded myself, and I can honestly say this stage and chapter in my life, I have committed to helping, being a service to others, because it's for, at this stage in my life, it's help.
Yeah. And you get to pick what you want to do.
And I can pick. I can pick what. It's a great feeling.
Yeah. Well, so I had just a couple more questions.
Sure.
Then. The first question is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to talk about as part of your interview?
Actually, I think we covered most of it. I guess probably I can kind of embellish this stage and this chapter
Mm-hmm.
in my life. Running joke. The running joke I have at this point right now, I'm rounding third base. I'm in the fourth quarter. I'm on the back nine of life, and I'm trying to make every day count. And how I make every day count is to be of service to help.
Yeah. And that's shooting the 3-pointer.
And that's shooting the 3-pointer. That's shooting the tray.
That covers all the sports.
That covers everything. So again, we pretty much covered me from A to Z.
Okay.
But again, that phase, that chapter, where I'm at right now, I just really enjoy helping other people, leaving.
And oh no! All right. Well, hold on 1 second, because I'll ask you one more question after that.
Okay.
You wanna?
Sorry.
Oh, you got the. Don't forget the microphone. You can just carry that with you.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Otherwise, you'll be dragging it behind you.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I thought I touched that off.
That's how it works.
Yeah, man, hold on. Let me turn it off now.
All right.
So we had to edit that part out?
Yeah, which, by the way, I'm very good at.
Okay, good. I turned it off.
All right, very cool.
All right. Jesus. All right. I'm probably about the only person who still has a ringtone.
No, you'd be surprised how often this happens. It's either that or they got a stupid grandfather clock.
Really?
Yeah, bong bong.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay,
so
I don't
yeah,
feel so bad then.
All right. So with all of that said, you're in this part of your life where you're really giving back. Although you've led a life of service your whole entire life, it really just kind of begs one last question, and that question is, 100 years from now, when someone's watching this video or listening to you talk about your life, what would you like them to take away? What kind of advice would you have for people?
What I would like the audience to take away from my journey and my experience as a person of faith, the sooner you discover your God-given talent and maximize that's what real life, because your work doesn't feel like work because it becomes more of a passion. So seek to find your God-given talent, because God has given each one of us talent to give to the world. Find that talent, maximize that work.
Well, thanks for that. And thanks for spending your morning with me, Chuck.
Thank you for driving out on this soggy fall, soon to be winter, but fall morning. And I appreciate the opportunity to share my story.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Veterans Archives podcast. We truly appreciate you taking the time to listen and honor the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Don't forget, you can catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream past episodes anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and as I've said before, any place you can find a podcast, you can find the Veterans Archives podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share our content on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and across all social media. Every share helps us reach more people and preserve more stories. The Veterans Archives podcast is a nonprofit initiative, and our mission is simple: to give veterans a voice and ensure their stories are never forgotten. This service is completely free for veterans because their sacrifices deserve to be recognized and remembered. You want to help? Follow us, spread the word, and if you know a veteran with a story to tell, send them our way. Visit us at veteransarchives.org to learn more about how you can get involved. Thanks again for tuning in, and most importantly, thank you to all the veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. Until next time, take care, and we will see you on the next episode of the Veterans Archives podcast.